The Audi R8 might just be the ultimate expression of an everyday supercar. I've never seen another car that people love so much and also brings so much excitement to everyday driving. Frankly, I could end my review right here, as it's a grand chore to try to convey what a Teutonic masterpiece the R8 is. But it's my job to try. Let's start on the interior. The R8 is a very cavernous place to be indeed. Most supercars are want for interior space, especially for my 6'5" frame. Not the R8, no. I have plenty of room to stretch out in these new quilted leather seats, which I think look like a choice pair of oven mitts. Enough with the fabulous interior though, let's cut to the chase. The noise. Too many cars miss out on this critical piece of sensory experience, but not the R8. The bass thrum of the V10 can set off car alarms, but wind up to 9,000 RPM and it sounds like the mating cries of Ayrton Senna. That exhaust scream draws people's attention, but unlike, say, a tuned Civic, it brings smiles and looks of awe to their faces. When you're driving an R8, you can almost convince yourself that you're doing a public service. Audi's worked hard to achieve this miraculous effect, and in 2014, it has tried to push the limits of the R8. We all know that Audi is in a head-to-head heat with BMW for German supremacy that usually takes the form of a numbers game. Where BMW brags the new 4 Series is 3+1, Audi isn't caught up in that juvenile game of sums. Instead, Audi's taken another road. They've replaced the old R-Tronic dual-clutch transmission for 2014 with a new 7-speed S-Tronic dual-clutch transmission with bigger paddle shifters. Clearly, Audi didn't realize that although S may be one more than R alphabetically, they're still worth the same on the Scrabble board. Mated to that new S-Tronic is the same wondrous V10 borrowed from Lamborghini that makes 525 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque, which is good for a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds down to a top speed of 193 miles per hour. Dynamically, this car is truly impressive. While it does occasionally struggle to get all its power down to these wet roads, it never lets the driver feel anything but confidence. I've driven many supercars, from the Noble M400 to the Nissan GTR to the Mercedes SLS AMG Black. And while the SLS AMG Black was nearly manageable on a day-to-day sort of way, it pales in comparison to the R8. The R8 is so effortless. The steering provides excellent communication to the road without being harsh, and the suspension lets you feel the road without leaving each pothole imprinted in your spine. And frankly, I'm struggling to remember any car that was so fun to drive from speeds of 25. If forced to name a flaw in this car, it'd be the tech package. The rest of the Audi line is light years ahead of the industry in terms of tech integration. The R8 is a different story though. It lacks Bluetooth streaming and a USB connector for anything newer than an iPhone 4S. It's a bit of a letdown that your $200,000 supercar has fewer tech features than a new Mazda 3. Still, these limited tech features ultimately are just a distraction from the best feature of the R8, its cool factor. The R8 looks like a supercar without being gauche, drives like a track car without being uncomfortable, and makes you feel like $1 million every time you step in or out of it. I can think of a few cars that can match the R8 in one of these categories, but none that has the complete package. This, then, is my favorite new car.